Hi, my name is Professor Victor Chang. You can pronounce Chang whatever way you can. And today I'm very honored to give a talk. The talk for today is actually on behalf of my journal article. The title is called Social Network Analysis of Two Networks, Adolescent School Network and Bitcoin Trader Network. And I'm going to explain the talk as follows. I will start with the related works, including motivation, and then we'll describe about some literature and common approaches that we use for social network analysis. And I'm going to explain there are two experiments involved. So with adolescents, school network, and the Bitcoin trust network, and followed by discussion and conclusion. So first of all, we have to experience different stages of life, especially for adolescents. It's a kind of teenage life that you are trying a lot of different things, perhaps only once or even a few times in life. And this includes underage smoking, drinking due to the peer pressure, and also bullying in the physical world and also in the cyber world. So different people may have treat you differently, and even to your children, and we have to go through that kind of life. And also chronic illness, anxiety disorder, and so on, due to the stress of examinations and stress of various assignments and tasks to be done. And healthy lifestyle are also important. So we have to go through all these things. And that is why we have to study adolescents issues. Then cryptocurrency is another rising topic, because the big Bitcoin network size is growing faster than the linear regression in almost like exponential rate, and Bitcoin transaction network is getting increasingly intense, and therefore it has issues for laws, and also like whether we should have enforcement, or should we just let them do whatever they like. And there's a high frequency of a transaction between the top traders, especially in Ethereum, ERC20 ecosystem, and the production and the consumption of information about the cryptocurrency are centered in Europe and Asia Pacific region, and therefore they are getting very popular and having a lot of impact. So you may wonder, why should we? What are the reasons we should study these two types of groups? So first of all, the young people these days, like 20 or 30 years ago, what they show off about how good they are is about like the hacking skill they have, and what kind of techniques they know, and they try to do something very different, and we may result in unintentional or intentional hacking. But these days, what the younger people tend to focus on is on what kind of investment they made and how much money they made. So as far as I know, like even a student from National Taiwan University, they set up a server farm themselves, and then they also do they call it mining to get some money on regular basis through Bitcoin or financial investment. And also it's common that I have known that the younger generations in Far East and also Southeast Asia, they are quite common doing this kind of personal and financial investment. And therefore, it's quite important to know if there are any correlation between these two. And there are already researchers doing this kind of research. And as you know, experienced data scientists are quite sharp and quick to capture the latest trend and changes. And that is why it's important for us to know any correlation between these two. But it's also quite important for us to understand there are some of the literature and the required knowledge. So first of all, I'm going to introduce about what the network density and reciprocity mean. So first of all, the network density illustrates the portion of the potential connection in the network that are actual connection, the actual friends, people who know each other. And network reciprocity measures the likelihood that the diversity in a direct network will be linked mutually. It means that mutual friends, or like through somebody or someone, then you are more likely to know the person or know the community. And the network transitivity means that it's the overall probability for the network to have adjacent nodes that are interconnected. It means that you have to understand the probability that you know certain people or certain community, and then you can then calculate the probability before doing so, and it reveals the existence of a tightly connected community. It also shows how well connected your communities are to others and to other community that you do not know, but are similar to what you do. And network centrality, there are also 3 types. So degree centrality represent the number of nodes adjacent to the given node, and the high degree of centrality means that the node is more powerful and can negatively impact the group by withholding or distorting the information. So the one here connects to these two, and he or she can decide which one to get into or which one to get close to, or to pass on to which group or which community, and he or she has the decisive power. Then the betweenness centrality evaluates the degree of specified nodes, which stand for the shortest path between the other nodes. And the high betweenness centrality means that the node acts as a gatekeeper because he or she can control information dispersal among the nodes. So this one means that this person holds the key position in this group. So he or she can decide who will do what and to exercise certain policies or actions. And he or she is the main decision maker. And the closeness centrality is used to evaluate the global centrality of nodes by measuring the distance from other nodes. So we measure other nodes. A high closeness, the centrality indicates that node can get information more efficiently. It means that it's a measurement of how efficient you are and how well connected the information can pass on in this group. So there are also other algorithms. Like one of them is called Govern-Newman algorithm. So what this means is that you find the shortest path in a group, but then in between other community, there is a bit of a longer distance. Means that you do know each other quite well to some extent, but your relations and links to other communities are slightly weaker. So this algorithm helps us to calculate the shortest path of the current network and deletes the edge of the largest betweenness. And then label propagation is a principle to predict the unmarked nodes by using the label information of the marked nodes. And the labels of the nodes are passed on to other nodes by similarity. So it's a kind of method to find, because you do not have any knowledge about those nodes or community, then you use some methods in this algorithm and then find you are more likely to get to that, and then therefore you get close to it. And it's a kind of indication to show the more similar the nodes are, the easier it is to spread the label. So it means that it's a method to find similar communities. So if you can find someone or some group they are similar to what you do, there's a possibility that you can spread the information or the preferences to them, and they are more likely to accept. So the fast greedy is a different approach. So it first to set each vertex in the network as a separate community. So it get them into a separate community, and then each iteration is select the 2 communities that produce the largest module queue to merge until the entire network merges into a community. So it's a kind of a method to find the 2 communities that are more likely to get close to you or support you or have the similar way, and then you merge them together so that then they can work in such a way which can be probably more efficient. The age weight prediction or WSNs can be distributed as a network in which the edges are encoded with the positive and negative weights. So you can then know whether they are positive and negative weights, and we can capture many different types of social relationships between people, such as positive and negative relationship, trust and distrust, and like and disgust. So between people, we will always have positive and negative relationship, and these are not fixed. These are dynamic numbers. The relationship can be changed because of certain events or behavior. So that's also important for us to know. There are 2 types of measurement to get to understand nodes behavior: the goodness of the nodes and the fairness of the nodes. So to understand how good you are, so the nodes tend to have certain behavior. So if it shows certain behavior or certain patterns, then you are more likely to know how good or how fair they are to you also. So in order to do this experiment, we have to use a data set that we found in 2000. But because in this day, this kind of data set will have to have a stricter ethical approval. Therefore, the point here is to illustrate that this research can be done if, let's say, we have overcome the ethical approval, but then the objective is to understand and study 160 adolescents in the secondary school in Scotland and Glasgow, variables. Means that the friendship network data, alcohol consumption, smoking behavior, and other lifestyle stuff. So variables. So we need to know if they're friends, how they can influence others in terms of getting the alcohol and smoking consumption. Especially this is considered as the underage. So visualization is a way that we can understand them, and it then shows that in this data there are 4 dominant groups, and this is one of the dominant group. You may even say there are 5, but this seem to be merged together to by greedy algorithm, like fast greedy algorithm. So if let's say you consider this as 1, so you notice that there are some strong leaders here, and they know each other, and then they also influence their friends who have a lower extent of influences, and here they are being led by 2 influential leaders. You may even consider them as leader, and here is 1 big leader, 2 or 3 smaller leaders. This is another group, but they are not merged, and this is another group. Like this leader tried to connect, but for some reason not successful. But then the people here that also listen, but also interestingly, there's another isolation group. Means that they are not connected to others, but perhaps due to differences in their ways of thinking, or maybe they do not want to mix with them. So you may notice that people are easily influenced by one or the other, and there are people here, they are only occasionally smoke or drink, and they are not very active. So it allows us to understand it very quickly. And the density approximately 2.7%. That means that it's a sparse network with relatively few edges. Means that sometimes it only allows the certain people, like if they think you are my friend in my group, and you tend to only work closely with your own, you are unlikely to work with others which are whom are not familiar to you. So reciprocity, only half of friends in this study have confirmed each other, because due to various reasons, they don't want to reveal the account information, or perhaps the thing is embarrassed. So the value increased slightly by around 14% in the time 0.3. Yeah, and showing that the friendship with each other had become stronger after 2 years. So if, let's say, people get to do things together, not necessarily, like smoking and drinking, but if they do the things together, the friendship improve. And when the improvement in friendship, they can also improve all the decisions. They may not have a direct impact, but then the likelihood of following your friends or the leaders are likely to increase over a period of time. The changes in value indicate that the interaction between the network is getting closely related to each other. And then we can also use 2 different algorithms, the fast greedy and the label propagation. You notice that the fast greedy will then group them into different groups, and there are also groups that they can be overlapped to each other. But as you notice, there are 4 or 5 active groups. But in label propagation, it means that you are trying to find whether they are related to each other. You notice that the influences are less, but because the label propagation doubles the number of divided community, because the pupils in some community have a similar frequency of alcohol consumption, but this is event-based. For instance, parties, birthdays, or big achievement. This may mean that they are still drink and smoke, but they were spread across different period of time. So it means that it become more frequent. It means that it then also show whether you are drinking or smoking like periodically or so. And in this case, we then can estimate the out degree is negative to indicate the tendency to avoid the connections unless there are other desirable properties to the friendship, such as other reciprocal transitive relations or same-gender relationship. Yeah, but as you know, it's not always easy to find all these details. But the adolescents appear to prefer friends with the same smoking behavior. From the smoke one ego and drinking behavior ego parameters, the smokers and drinkers are more active in the friendship network as they tend to name more friends. And then when looking at the drinking behavior part of the label, it is likely that the non-drinker with the drinking friends or a drinker with non-drinking friends to change their behavior to match the friends. So it means that you are more likely to be influenced by friends. And it's also important for us to select our friends wisely. But then let us move to the second experiment, the Bitcoin trust. So the Bitcoin Alpha Trust weight and sign networks. We used the data set in 2016. And also, as you know, it's also getting harder to get a data set, but we are fortunate that way. So the emphasis now is on analysis to have a better understanding to capture the phenomenon that we are in. So every user credit is evaluated by using the rating from the Riven, which contribute to the weighted trust of the network's user. So there are variables that we have to know. The node ID of the source or the rater, the node ID of the target, known as rating, and the rating, the sources rating to the target, ranging from -10 to +10 in step 1, and the time of rating measured as the seconds since epoch. So these are the variables we have to follow, and the data set information is here. Then the experiment 2, the Bitcoin Trust Network, as you can see, the Bitcoins, a lot of people are connected to each other, and they are more influential leaders in this way, and they are the one that may have influences on others. There are also some other amateur investors. So the interactions means there are more transactions. So every node has been assigned to various sizes and shapes of red according to each other's value of degree. The darker the color, the higher value of degree a node has. So the edges have also different colors according to their weight, with purple indicating the highest weight and the white indicating the lowest. So the one with a darker red means that they are the one being influenced, and also the links. The one with purple indicate the highest weight. They also have influences on others. So the experiment to the centrality analysis result, the degree centrality, the result shows that user 2 is the most connected user who is likely to hold the most information of other users and enable them to connect to the wider network quickly. So there are always, in each Bitcoin community, there are always some active user, and without him or her, then you cannot get into the group of user, and he or she may be the gatekeeper, maybe the community manager to identify who are the real users and real investors, because they can do more security check, and they want to ensure only people who are interested in investments are getting into the community. Therefore, the user of the ID of 2 has a highest closeness centrality. And that means that the user may be the best to affect the entire network in the fastest time possible, which means that if let's say they want to have a group decision to invest on something, or they want to buy something, they can then discuss and agree to a certain extent, or they want to speculate and so on. So between the centrality, the user of ID2 has the highest between the centrality, meaning that the user is important in communicating in the communications and information diffusion. It has a strong ability to affect the flow within the network. So we call that the decision maker or key player to lead the community in terms of maybe they are having another different investment strategy to other communities, so he or she may have to decide and lead others. And then, as we can see, the link analysis, the density of network is 7.3%. It's not particularly dense, but still connected. It means that the network does not have a strong ability to resist link failure. So you get link failures due to various reasons. First, it's like people that have done something that you don't like each other, then you are not going to be friends, or maybe because of certain transactions are only based on time. Like at the time, some people were interested, and after that, they were no longer interested left. Another possibility is the money laundering or something to do with the criminal activities. So the connectedness of the network is 1, indicating the graph is fully connected. That means there's no isolation within the network. It means that people they know each other, and they do understand every single events. So user 11 is the authority figure of the network, and 51 is the hub. meaning that they are the users need more attention. So authority, sometimes authority doesn't have to be the one that appear to lead the community, because he or she may be the boss, the real boss behind the scene, but appear to be slightly off the network. But then when you analyze further, then we know that certain major decisions, it comes from certain people, and then who then pass on to the community manager. Community manager may not be the real boss behind the scene. It might be only the messenger. All right, in 51 is the one to the hub, maybe the one with capital or money also. So it may be the one with the manpower, and the other one with the funder, and so on. So we can analyze that there are 4 main communities that the users trade with each other more often with those outside the community. So the one with the light red, and one with light green, and one with the light blue, and the other one the light purple. Yeah, and as you know, there are more people in these 2 communities, but then the one in the light blue is the one to connect the other 3 community, and a slight strength of the community partition by considering the degree, the distribution as a measurement, and the structure of the community is not bad according to the modularity value. When the security problems threaten their interests, the power of the community should be taken seriously, because their decisions may be against each other. Therefore, the certain decision we have to make. But then when we are analyzing this kind of data, what we need to know is that sometimes they collaborate, and then why, and sometimes they are against each other, why, and also the behavior between the members in the community. That's also quite helpful. So what links to these 2 experiments? First of all, the value orientation of individuals, their moral foundations, their levels of confidence, and the attitudes to money, as well as gender and age, were considered as social psychological factors of attitude towards cryptocurrency. Because from adolescents to cryptocurrency, we are looking at very similar factors. And these factors are also very important, especially now the investors these days will become younger people, even, people they are not even school leavers or university students. But also it's important for us to know the interest to implement the SNA techniques. In this paper, we use all these techniques known as SNA techniques. So in sum, we analyze the young social networks regarding to cryptocurrency, not only for adolescents, but now they shift the adolescents' behavior to cryptocurrency. And then we illustrate various algorithms and techniques to show the similarity and differences. So at least we understand better about the people's behavior and the decisions behind it, and what makes them to do certain things. And we present very interesting findings and identify links between these 2 groups. And there will be probably more research to follow. So to conclude, the adolescents school network and the adolescents refer to reciprocal relationship with the same gender. Drinkers tend to be more active in their social circle. In terms of the co-evolution of the friendship network, the alcohol consumption, the drinkers will be influenced strongly by the drinking behavior of the friends. So Bitcoin trading, to avoid fraud and to better deal with security problems, the users need to agree on opening permissions to real transaction history. Moreover, we should attach great importance to the power of the individual and the communities using social network analysis. In comparison, we know the adolescents school network, both the phenomena and the homophily and the assimilation are found. And in the Bitcoin trading, only the phenomenon of the assimilation is discovered. So this means that in this case, it means that there are people's tendency that they like each other more than friends. But then in Bitcoin, it's purely about business. Yeah, it's just we are friends because of similarities in our investment strategy and business. So if you can, please download the paper, and we kindly appreciate the time you will spend with us. And I hope that you are going to visit our paper and cite this, if that's possible, because our citations will always rely on the community. So why should you cite? The social network analysis can be applied, analyzed in different domains for interested parties. And we compare the performance of different community detection algorithms. And we compare the phenomena of the Philly, and a simulation of the adolescents school network and Bitcoin trading network. Resolve analysis help in decision making, and it also gives a very easy to understand and quick view through visualization and through our own calculation by our algorithms. So thank you so much for your time, for listening. We wish you all the best and have a good time. Thank you. See you. Bye.